What's up, fellow coin leakers? It's your man Zay.Gatsby coming at you with another coin leaker update. Today I got on the old school player t-shirt, so you know I know what I'm talking about, alright? Today I wanted to make a video about Substratum and talk about a few things that not everyone is mentioning, and I don't know if it's because they're skipping it or because they don't know, but I don't think people really understand the gravity of this project. As well as all of the moving parts associated that bring tremendous value to the cryptocurrency space and the internet as a whole. So we're going to dive pretty deep into this. I'm going to talk about 3 reasons that nobody's really mentioning, which makes Substratum like a unique unicorn type project and a slam dunk. And I think most of you involved with Substratum know that there's a lot of people out there who live in countries where the government controls what they can see on the internet. But if you don't know, it's true. Some people in the world, they can't get on basic social media sites, right? I'm going to play a quick video to show you what I'm talking about.
An organization that fights online censorship in China says it is under digital attack. A GreatFire says it has been under a denial of service attack, and so the site is overwhelmed with more traffic than it can handle. Now, earlier, I spoke to a representative of GreatFire, but he wished to keep his identity hidden, using a fake name and a digital voice to explain what was going on.
We are being targeted because since the 25th anniversary of the June 4th incident, the Chinese authorities have ramped up their information controls quickly. This has included completely blocking Google in China, launching dangerous man-in-the-middle attacks against Apple, Microsoft, and Yahoo, and disrupting VPN services in China. We are just the next logical target.
GreatFire is a group of anonymous activists who monitor and challenge Chinese internet censorship.
This is why the decentralized web is important, okay? People in other countries can't see what's in the US. There's too much censorship. And what makes Substratum so great, it fixes that problem, okay? Through the default browser, Chrome, Firefox, you can use Substratum without knowing how to use it, all right? That's the major key difference, is that it's through the default browser. No software is needed to be downloaded. You don't have to use VPNs. Okay, average internet users don't even know what a VPN is, and that brings me to my first reason. Okay, VPNs are going to be banned in Russia and China soon. All right, I'm going to link to you guys a recent Wire magazine article. It was written in August, and it kind of illustrates what my point is, that not only is it just the government that's banning VPNs, but a lot of the centralized services that we're familiar with, like Apple, Amazon, certain hotels, they're curtailing the practice of servicing via VPNs. So VPNs are not going to be a solution for much longer, and if they are, they won't be for the masses. It's going to be for the little underground nerds like me.
I'm a nerd. 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 I'm a nerd.
So in order to bring Substratum to the masses, Substratum needs participation. They need incentivization. And that's where Substrate comes into play. In order to incentivize users to run the Substratum network client on their machine, they will be rewarding Substratum coin to the users for doing this. So coins get issued to the serving machine through a microtransaction from the hosting site to the serving computer, right? And this makes the Substrate token act as a fuel to run the network, which always makes a token more valuable, okay? I love tokens that are used as fuel to run a network, because as the network grows, the token grows with absolutely no ceiling. There's no GDP to worry about. There's no non-farm payrolls, none of that annoying crap that the stock market uses as rules. That's why this coin is going to be such a slam dunk long-term investment. But anyway, by breaking those fees down to a microtransactional level, it's going to greatly reduce the overall cost to companies and entities that want to host sites and applications on the internet, solving yet another problem, okay, that the web stands at today. Right? And that brings me to my second point. If you listen closely to what I said fees are broken down to a micro-transactional level, reducing the cost to companies and entities that want to host sites. Host sites. This means that Substratum is in the hosting business. Okay, Okay, now the web hosting industry is a big industry. All right, just to give you an idea, like the top 10 hosting companies in the world, they do an average of about like $500 million in revenue, like on average. Not the worst, not the best, on average 500 million. Not talking about market cap, not talking about company evaluation, I'm talking about revenue. Okay, top 10 on average. And this is what people are really missing. Like currently businesses that do a lot of traffic, they pay high hosting fees to get their websites on the internet. Now Amazon Web Services launched a $3.5 billion per year business by attempting to solve this problem. They allow you to pay for how many minutes you run a web or database service. And Substratum, they solve this problem in the same way, only by charging for each request that is processed. So instead of paying a high monthly fee, when in some cases your web page won't even be used on a certain day, now you only pay per request. Perfect solution for small and large businesses, the same, right? The third and final thing that no one is really talking about, which makes Substratum really good, is network effects. I'm going to give you a few key reasons why competitors like Maidsafe, Golem, are not going to be able to hold a candle to Substratum because of network effects, okay? First of all, when it comes to hosting, Maidsafe does not do the same thing, okay? You can only create subdomains of their Maidsafe domain because they don't know how to decentralize DNS, right? Big companies are not gonna use something like Maidsafe. Like if I'm a big company and like I gotta tell you, hey, if you want more information, just go to bigcompany.maidsafe.com. It's not happening. Like Substratum is decentralizing DNS so that any site can run through it without changing, their domain name. But I digress. That's not even the point I was trying to make. The point I was making was network effects, right? The reason why Bitcoin, not being the greatest performance or feature-intensive, storage transfer value coin, but it still holds the highest market cap is because of network effects, right? Of all the decentralized web blockchain solutions out there, Substratum has the fewest moving parts. Why is this important? Because if things are hard, people aren't going to do it. All right, smartphones were around for years before Steve Jobs made it accessible for everyone by making the iPhone, okay? Some of the biggest gripes today in crypto is just how hard it is to get set up, making a wallet and all that stuff. But with Substratum users, they don't require special software to use the network, okay? The default browser, your Mozilla, your Firefox, your Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, it will service all the requests for every user, so they don't need to do anything different, like anything. And if anybody can do it, it's this team, okay? We're talking about a firm who for the last 10 years has architected and developed software solutions for Fortune 100 companies like Apple, Facebook, Disney, HP, you name it. So they have the experience necessary to create a solution on this scale. And they understand the importance of a good user experience, and by them creating this in a way where people don't have to change their existing habits, it's a huge advantage, okay? The hardest thing to get human beings to do is to change their habits. And if they don't need to change what they normally do, how good do you think that is for adoption? Like how well do you think the network will perform if children in India and the Philippines can simply leave their computers running and earn Substrate tokens, right? This is how the network is going to grow massively and organically, and it's going to lead to a greater network effect, okay? If you don't know what a network effect is a phenomenon where a product or service gains additional value as more people use it, okay? And this is what makes Substratum so special, because one of the concerns that I've heard from people is like how Substratum is going to solve the issue of latency, and being that Substratum will be running on the blockchain as well as uptime and reliability not being guaranteed, being that the hosting is done on other people's computers. And I think the answer is twofold. Number one is what I mentioned before with the network effect, right? The success of Substratum almost becomes like self-fulfilling with more people joining the network, happening with the ease of use of the platform and it being a cheaper solution. But also, as far as like physically solving the latency and reliability issues, you have to marry that network effect with Substratum's machine learning capability, okay? Because the only way machine learning can work is if there's more data for the algorithm to learn from, right? And that's another thing people aren't talking about, okay? Substratum's network will have some machine learning capabilities infused into it. Machine learning is synonymous to like artificial intelligence. It's not quite the same. It's a subset of artificial intelligence, but it allows computers and programs to get into a mode of self-learning without being programmed for it, okay? And a lot of people think that anytime like a company uses words like that, like artificial intelligence, like the skeptics think that it's just a buzzword to get people to pay attention. But what the machine learning is going to do is geolocate the right Substratum network machine to serve up the content to the best user possible based on geolocation and history of uptimes, okay? That's how the machine learning works. It uses like regression models, classification, clustering to designate the request properly, ensuring that the best host gets rewarded first for incentivizing trustworthy uptimes and creating a fast load time, the fastest possible with the lowest amount of like latency and strain on the network. All in all, I really think Substratum has a real chance at revolutionizing not only the hosting industry for the 3 reasons I talked about, obviously, but this is something that can lay the groundwork for what I would consider to be like the Web 3.0. And right now you have the chance to get in at the ground floor, right? And as a bonus, there's a bunch of stuff about Substratum I didn't even mention. Like, for example, CryptoPay. CryptoPay is going to be a payment gateway system like PayPal that Substratum is building that will allow all sites and applications that run on the network to process cryptocurrency transactions. And you can use any publicly traded coin. So when a shopper checks out using CryptoPay, the payment method that they use is converted to the payment method that the vendor wants by using Substrate as the conversion currency, okay? That system is not only going to boost the value of like Substrate, the token, but it's also going to boost the value of the network itself because it further incentivizes people to have their websites hosted on the Substratum network. Another thing, I don't see anybody talking about this one. In 2018, they're going to deliver a mobile app that will run blockchain nodes. This means you're going to be able to earn Substrate for running the application in the background of your phone. Okay, if that doesn't strengthen anybody's faith about uptimes not being a problem or being near 100%, I don't know what's going to convince you. Because I shouldn't have to tell you the statistics on mobile phone usage for you to know that that's a massive upgrade to the network. And no project has ever even conceived of offering something like that. And if they have, I don't think they'd be able to deliver it, or at least not like Substratum can. Because like I said, this is a team of 22 developers. They've been together for over 13 years. I'm not going to make any price predictions today on this video, but I will say if you're watching this relatively recent, between now and like 4 months, now is a really good price to get in, okay? With all the altcoins struggling to maintain their current values, like even today, due to speculators speculating on the fork, Substratum has done really well retaining its value. So I think now is a really good time to get in, and you should take a look, alright? So that's it for today's video. This is Zay.Gatsby of Coin Leakers. Make sure you guys subscribe because that really helps me out a lot. Peace.
Yeah. Hey.